Max Nation and Dog Pound. I'm Unger to the Max, coming at you with today's episode of the Sports Room Talk Show. A salute to you. And the Cleveland Browns have named their starting quarterback for the 2025 NFL season, which kicks off in 2 weeks in 6 days, when Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, maybe Trey Hendrickson, and the Cincinnati Bengals come to town for round one of the Battle of Ohio off the shores of Lake Erie. And who will the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback be? Joe Flacco. Yep, that's right. Despite how well Shedeur Sanders played in the preseason opener on the road against the Carolina Panthers, and despite Dylan Gabriel playing relatively well on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles this past week in preseason action, it will be Joe Flacco under center against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if I had to make a prediction, I think Shedeur Sanders is going to take over as the Browns starting quarterback probably in week 7 when Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and the Miami Dolphins come to town. But for now, Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback. Now, the first time Joe Flacco was our quarterback, he led us to wins against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Chicago Bears, Houston Texans, and New York Jets to get us into the playoffs, where we promptly got smashed by C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. But during that season, the city of Cleveland got caught up in Joe Flacco-Mania. Everywhere you looked, there was Joe Flacco stuff. Except for me. Because do I simply forgive and forget? Hell no! Where did Joe Flacco make his living as an NFL quarterback? Oh, let me think. It's that team over in Maryland. Their colors are purple and black. They beat the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 47. They had one of the most dominant defenses and beat the New York Giants in the Super Bowl back in 2000. John Harbaugh's their head coach. They've had Hall of Famers like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed play for them. Lamar Jackson is their starting quarterback. Who is that team? Oh yeah, that's right. The Baltimore Ravens. And of all the teams in the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Baltimore Ravens, for me, the Baltimore Ravens are the Browns' biggest rivals. And what did Joe Flacco constantly do when he was with Baltimore? Oh yeah, that's right. He beat the Browns almost every time we played them. So, you think as a Browns fan, I'm just going to forgive and forget now that Joe Flacco is wearing brown and orange? Absolutely not. That is not how I operate. Let me flip to the Cleveland Cavaliers for a second so I can give you what I mean, because I hold grudges for a long time. So, the Orlando Magic beat us in the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals. I held a grudge against the Magic all the way up until we beat them in the first round of the 2024 first round of the Eastern Conference, or I should say NBA playoffs. The Indiana Pacers just beat us in the Eastern Conference semifinals. I will hold a grudge against them until we avenge that loss in the playoffs. The New York Knicks, they beat us in the first round of the 2023 NBA playoffs. I will hold a grudge against them until we avenge that loss in the playoffs. The Boston Celtics, they beat us in the second round of the 2024 NBA playoffs. I will hold a grudge against the Celtics until we beat them in the playoffs. That's how I operate. So, Joe Flacco, I will not root for you until you do the following things. Beat the Baltimore Ravens at least once So you'll get your first opportunity in week 2 on the road at M&T Bank Stadium. Although ideally I would love it if you beat the Ravens twice. So not just week 2 in Baltimore, but also week 11 here in Cleveland. And you have to get the Browns to the playoffs, but not just get them to the playoffs, but win at least one playoff game. So if Joe Flacco beats the Ravens at least once, ideally twice, gets the Browns into the playoffs, and wins said playoff game, only then will I give up my grudge against Joe Flacco. But until all that happens, I'm not going to be swept up into all this Joe Flacco-Mania. I will root for the Cleveland Browns as a whole, but will I root for Joe Flacco? Absolutely not. And like I said, I don't think he's going to be our starting quarterback all season. I think by the time week 7 rolls around, Shedeur Sanders will take over when we face the Miami Dolphins at home before going on the road the following week to take on the New England Patriots, which I'm going to get more into this tomorrow when I do my schedule reaction live stream. But in the schedule I created for the Cleveland Browns, I actually had them starting the season on the road in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts against Drake May and the New England Patriots. And then in week 2, I had them playing their home opener against this season's number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, and the Tennessee Titans. In terms of why I had them opening the season at New England, I just felt like it would be something different to open the season not only on the road, but against a non-divisional opponent. Because it seems like, as of recently at least, the NFL schedule makers have the Browns open the season either at home or, at the very least, against a AFC North opponent. Whether it's the Steelers or Ravens mostly. Although we've played the Bengals once at home. I think that was in 2023 if I'm not mistaken. So I just thought, let's have them open the season on the road at New England. And then in terms of week 2, being the home opener against the Tennessee Titans, our home opener has been against the Titans twice before. 2019, when we got smashed 43-13. That was the season where they hired Freddie Kitchens to be our head coach. And we traded for Odell Beckham Jr. and we had all this hype. And then the Browns, as they usually do, promptly fell flat on their face. Like this. And then I think it was back in 2015, they were our opponent for the home opener. So I just figured, let's have them play the Titans in the home opener again. But the home game I'm most excited about is week 3 against the Green Bay Packers. Now, I've seen the Packers once before, but it was in preseason. So for me, that does not count. So for me to actually count seeing a team, it has to be a regular season game. So when the Packers come to town in week 3, that will be the first time I've actually seen the Browns play the Packers here in Cleveland. Now, for that week 3 game, I would absolutely love to do a video collaboration with the one and only Tom Grossi. Tom, I know you're on the verge of reaching 1 million subscribers, but just hear me out on this. You are one of the 4 guys who I watched and really inspired me to become a content creator and make these types of videos. The other 3 guys are Gangrene David, who is a longtime YouTuber and fan of the New York Jets. And I did a couple video collaborations with him, but he has since deleted his YouTube channel. Engraven Vids, who is a big-time Baltimore Ravens fan. Tom, you actually did connect with Engraven, when you went to Baltimore as part of your 30 and 30 tour, and you toured M&T Bank Stadium with him. and I've done a couple video collaborations with Ingraven. He's a great guy. Norb Cam, who is a huge Seattle Seahawks fan. I actually met Norb in person at Lumen Field back in 2023, right before the Browns played the Seahawks. He and I did a video collaboration then, and we also connected in 2019. So, Tom, you are the fourth and final piece of doing a video collaboration with the guys who inspired me. And, funny enough, like I did last season and previous seasons, I'm trying to do a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule. And like I said, in week 3, we host the Green Bay Packers. So, again, Tom, I know you're on the verge of reaching 1 million subscribers. And you just moved into your new house in Wisconsin. But I would love it if we could somehow, some way connect and do a video collaboration for that Packers-Browns game. So, that's going to do it for this episode. And I will see you tomorrow for my live stream where we're going to compare my predicted Browns schedule to the actual Browns schedule. Spoiler alert, I didn't get anything right.